All right, so as we start our presentation, you know the rules by now. However, we want to make the most of your experience with us today. So here are a set of guidelines. The protocol for chat is to use it sparingly because it can be disrupted during the presentation. We all know, oops, hold on one second. We all know when chat pops up that we have to read what's going on and it takes us away from our speaker. We are going to do our best to have you interact with one another and provide you with what you need with time for Q&A. And at the end, we want you to be rest assured that this presentation will be recorded so that you can find it on many different platforms, including on our website. Okay, so it's not allowing me to advance my slide. Olivia?
Yes. Oh, there you go.
There goes. Okay. So before we get started and into the details, I want to share with you one of my very favorite inspirational quotes by John Quincy Adams. He says, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." This reminds all of us that being a leader is not a title or a position. It is an attitude of service to one another. The Women's Council Realtor provides us all with opportunities to grow and inspire others while discovering our own potential. With education, knowledge is power. Networking, success in business is about building relationships. Referrals, adding financially to our bottom line, and leadership, increasing our skills and our professional development. As leaders in one of the most prestigious organizations in the Realtor family, we can inspire others to believe in a collaborative power, uplifting one another so that positive change can occur. All right, we have a fabulous 2021 team, and at this time, I would like to make some introductions. Starting with our line officers, Sylvia Sibo. She's been a member of the Women's Council for 20 years, longer than all of us. Her home network is Collin County. She lives in Dallas, Texas, and when not working and volunteering in real estate, Sylvia enjoys traveling and spending time with her family and friends. First Vice President, Chris Falcola Lee. Chris has been a member since becoming an agent in 2007. Smart lady. Her home network is Southeast Idaho, and she lives in Idaho Falls. Outside of real estate, her passion is hiking, biking, paddling, skiing, and camping. She is the outdoor girl. Treasurer, Carrie Hartnett. Carrie joined the Women's Council the same year I did, 2004. Her home network is Greater Portland area. Last year, she moved to Astoria, Oregon. Her passion when not doing real estate is, I think everybody knows, yoga. And she loves going to the beach and watching the waves roll in. Our newest addition to the national team is the 2021 National Liaisons. This is a brand new position in 2021. They are here for you, and they add another layer of support to the systems we already have in place. You will recall in the past we had regional vice presidents. This position is not only consolidated, but elevated. I'm sorry. This position is not only consolidated, but also elevated. Their responsibilities include, but are not limited to, elected to oversee the work of the National Council in their regions, a representative of the national leadership team. They serve on the national executive and nominating committees. They are the chair of the regional caucus at the national meetings, which conducts the regional business affairs and exchanges information. They identify opportunities or challenges within the region and assist wherever possible. The 2021 National Liaisons are the Central Region, Stacy Krolak. Stacy lives and works in Scottsdale, Arizona, and joined the Scottsdale, Arizona network in 2013. She says her absolute best day on the planet, if not working real estate, is sailing on a catamaran in Maui, Hawaii. Sounds good to me. Take me along, Stacy. The Western Region, Sheila Moran. Sheila has been a member since 1999, 2000, one of those years, maybe longer than Sylvia, not sure. Her home network is San Antonio. She lives in New Braunfels, Texas. She's a girl after my own heart. She loves to travel, stand up paddleboarding, swim, cook, be a beach bum, read, yoga, and spend time with family and friends. And the Eastern region, your very own Eileen Aldroid. Eileen has been a member for 8 years. She's a member of Orange County Network, and she wants to remind everyone it is the land of the Real Housewives of Orange County, but don't hold that against her. When she's not doing real estate, she enjoys hiking, riding her motorcycle, and finding a good donut shop. Not necessarily in that order. I think we can all appreciate a good donut from time to time, Eileen. The National Liaisons are also assisted by the State Liaisons, which is another support layer new in 2020 that's in place. At this time, will all the State Liaisons raise their hands or say hi to us in the chat? I'm looking. I see some of you. It's good to have so many of you with us today. I see there. The state liaisons are going to be an intricate part of us moving forward. So we're glad to have all of you joining us today. Give another wave, everybody. All righty then. Thank you. Good to see all of you. Last but certainly not least is our amazing staff. I would like to introduce them to you. They work behind the scenes to execute our events, such as this one, and believe me, we couldn't do it without them. They run a 10,000 plus member organization with 8 staff. They can do this because our pyramid structure of our organization, and we'll talk about it shortly, is from the bottom up. It is volunteer driven. Together, our Chicago staff is professional, committed, and experienced. They are here to ensure you have a smooth year, to provide guidance, support, and together with the leadership team, to be a sounding board for you and or hand you a flashlight and point you in the right direction. We are very fortunate to have Jeff, Debbie, Olivia, Donna, Dramey, Cindy, Jillian, Patrick, such great people keeping our organization going. A big thank you to all of them. So there you have it. You met our national line officers, our national liaisons, you saw those state liaisons, and our national staff working together for the common good. The headquarters of the Women's Council of Realtors is in Chicago, located in the National Association of Realtors building on Michigan Avenue. Since March, the building has been closed due to COVID, and it continues to be closed for the foreseeable future. To accommodate remote working and to further transform our organization, we wanted to let you know about our new member services communication channels. This is where you can reach us, and they have been in place since October. Please note our new 800 number. Effective since September, it's been updated everywhere, but we know that old numbers stay in phones for a long time. Be sure to have the correct number so that you can reach out quickly and easily to our staff. There is one email you need to contact National. It is wcr@wcr.org. It has a Zendesk feature. Sounds peaceful. What it actually means is we can track each and every inquiry and make sure that it is directed to the right person, and your inquiry and ticket gets resolved for quality control purposes and also provides us with some important data. Finally, if you don't want to call or email, we have a live chat during business hour, which is just another layer of support for you. Questions, issues, troubleshooting, contact us via these channels and we'll get you the answers you need as soon as possible. But wait, there's more. We even have more tools at your disposal to facilitate success. If you haven't already, please join the private Facebook page called Network 360 Year-Round 2021 Leaders. Take a screenshot of the URL and join. Interact with your peers, get the latest updates from National, ask questions, share best practices, get some great speakers, get quick answers from staff and your fellow colleagues. It's a page exclusively for network leaders, which again is another layer of support for you. New and updated this year is the Network Guide and Glossary, formerly known as LPPM, Leadership Policy and Procedure Manual. We have made it simple for you to find what you need quickly via the glossary, and that is a valuable asset as a leader. Everything you need to know about running your network, you can find. It's available under the Network Tools button on WCR.org. Okay, I'm 98% Italian, Sicilian to be exact. I know because I did my DNA. And Italian moms, like some other moms, are really good at laying on a guilt trip. So here I go. If you don't read the roadmap, you are going to really, really hurt my feelings. Maybe even crush my heart. Are you feeling guilty yet? Please read roadmap. The fact is, the open rate is only 60%. And guess what? It's only sent to our leaders. So what does that say? Do you not know about it? Or do you think maybe it's a waste of time? So now you know about it, and it's not a waste of time, I promise. It goes out twice a month, plus periodically a flash memo. The communication is for you, the network leader. That's you. As a leader, this is a resource for information. It's quick, it's to the point, no fluff. Okay, from time to time, we'll give you a pass. You may miss opening one. We get it. Not to worry, because they are all archived on WCR.org under roadmap. Keep informed. Read roadmap. I wanted to share this slide with you because I think it's important that you understand how our organization operates. Every organization is unique. At the Women's Council Realtors, we have a bottom-up structure. So what does that mean? It means that members and leaders across all levels are engaged, involved, and are aligned with our mission and vision. We are a member-centric organization. We have a can-do culture, which allows for opportunities for members and leaders to share ideas so that we can focus our efforts on adding value to our members and our organization. In addition, this structure provides our members and leaders with many, many leadership and professional development opportunities, as you can see by looking at the slide. With project teams focused on everything from how our networks operate to certification and diversity, smaller groups coming together to discuss and make recommendations. We also have task force that dive deeper into relevant trends that are important to our business, our organization, and our industry. We are in our third year of Leadership Institute. This is for individuals that want to take their leadership to the next level. Look for applications to open mid-year this year for 2022. We already have our 2021 class getting ready to start up. Every level of our organization has a stake in the success and future of the Women's Council. It starts at the local level, builds at the state level, and is filtered down to the national level. We are all stakeholders. So far, I've shared with you information about our national leaders, the structure of our organization. Now it's time to get down to business. Your first task of the new year as a local and state leader is, guess what? Recruit and renew. The pillar of any successful network is recruiting and renewing members. Dues renewals went out November 1st, and to date, we've enjoyed a robust renewal season. In November, we offered a 10% discount on national dues for renewals when members renewed by December 31st. We currently have a 3-month grace period before a member is dropped. The drop date is March 31st. So you still have time to implement strategies to retain your members that have not yet renewed. Start calling, emailing, and telling them about the great programs that the Women's Council has to offer them and what you have planned for 2021. This week, you will be provided 2021 microsite access. Thank you for your patience while we change both leader photos and access for 1,300 of our new leaders. Our next task is to redesign and enhance the member roster and not yet renewed reports, which we know are key tools for you in your network efforts. This will be ready mid-January, so stay tuned for instructions and information in guess where? Roadmap. The new year is always our busiest time when it comes to renewing and recruiting members. We are still halfway through the 60-day new member holiday spring deal. Any new member that joins by January 31st will get a $25 discount on the upcoming Elevate Growth Conference and exclusive access to Wealth, Health, and Self-Power Week and National Conference recordings. Check out WCR.org for details. We also have a regional recruiting challenge. Yes, a challenge. So, what region is going to lead the way in 2021? You will hear more about it from the National Liaison, and it starts now. Use this time to emphasize our virtual benefits and our plans for transitioning back to live events. We are thinking that 2021 is going to be a hybrid of virtual and live, but only time will tell. I don't have a crystal ball. So why should a realtor join? The Women's Council is a great investment for realtors who want to learn, earn, and network. We have so much to offer, no matter where they are in their career path. Referrals, training, top producers, connections, and member discount benefits. I use mine all the time when I go to Office Depot, and I save a lot of money. That is what we call a high five of reasons why realtors should join the Women's Council. Speaking of recruiting, here is a great way to show future members the value of our organization. Carrie is going to tell you about our upcoming Elevate Growth Conference. Carrie?
Thank you, Pamela, and good morning, Women's Council Eastern Region, and so many of my friends. It's so great to sort of see you. You're very small on my screen, but very nice to see. I see some smiling faces, so nice to see you. I am so excited to share more about the Elevate Growth Conference that's coming up on February 4th and 5th, so not even a month away. Hopefully you're all registered, and we'll tell you a little bit about more why you should. This program was designed to help set the new year on the right path. And if you're a network leader, you'll walk away with tools, tips, and the collective brain trust of your colleagues to help make you a successful leader. If you're a business leader, and we all are, we'll address the very topics of your why for joining the Women's Council. Being a successful business leader, right? So because we understand how busy our members are, each of these sessions will be quick, relevant, delivered in small-sized bite chunks. With over a dozen lightning rounds offered, curated content in 30 minutes, this will allow you to time block and attend the sessions that are most relevant to you. We want you to take advantage of learning from your peers, our very own Women's Council members that you know and love. They are just like you, busy, successful professionals who are part of the Women's Council to increase their bottom line and hone their leadership skills. We'll dive into never before explored topics such as how can volunteerism in organizations such as the Women's Council increase your business? Should I hire an assistant? How do you deal with all those different personalities? Will we be moving from online to in-person events this year? And what does that look like for your network and for your business? We'll learn how to get real comfortable with being uncomfortable, because growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Something that I am super jazzed about is that for the first time ever, we'll be offering a 4-hour PMN course called Certified Virtual Social Leader, which is the only certification of its kind. This course will help you to hone your online leadership skills so that you can be as an effective of a leader online as you are in person. Note that this is an additional fee, but after taking this course, you will become certified and it will count towards your PMN designation. Here at the Women's Council of Realtors, face-to-face interactions are a signature feature of our events. We will have several Zoom rooms with a focus on socializing and networking. We know you miss your Women's Council colleagues, and we miss you too. So come for the camaraderie and leave with a new referral partner. We know your time is valuable, so we've booked the best names in the industry to deliver unique content packed into 2 days. We promise not to overtake your schedule, and we know that you won't want to miss out. Individual registration is $125, making this event accessible and easy on the pocketbook. And for network leaders, bring your whole team for a discount of over 30%, all 6 team members for $500. We really can't wait to see you there. And I'm just going to give it back to Pamela. She's got some wonderful information and look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much, Carrie. So start off your new year right with Elevate, from lightning rounds to panels to fun. Nothing is taboo at Elevate. So we hope to see you there. Now, in my opening remarks, I also mentioned that we had some new and exciting things to talk about. And here's one of them that Sylvia is going to share with you for our network certification program. Sylvia?
Good morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. I hope the year has kicked off rocking and rolling for you. I know that real estate in Texas is ridiculous right now. And we actually had snow yesterday. I think the whole country, or the whole country of Texas was snowed in yesterday, which is crazy. But I am going to talk, Pamela, can you advance the slide? There we go. I'm going to talk to you about the certification program. And the first thing I want to say is don't freak out. Like, this is going to be your roadmap to make your year as the president of your local network, your year as the state liaison for your state, or your year as the state president for your state, rock and roll. And that's what we want to do. We want to give you the tools that you need. And this is going to make sure that you have a successful year. So I'm going to go over the who, what, when, why, where, all of that. And so just stay tuned. So what is it? The certification program is going to recognize and reward our most active local and state networks that achieve 5, again, that's 5, just 5, of benchmarks of network excellence and exceeds the basic charter requirements per our affiliation agreement. And so what we're really doing is we're rewarding you for doing your job. I know it's a novel concept, but that's actually what we're going to do. We laid out the new, it's not even new, the local model changeover several years ago. And now what we're going to do is we're giving you the roadmap, which is actually in the guidelines of how to do it so that you have a successful network. And then we're going to reward you. And we're doing the same with the new state model, and the state model is new. So I can say that there. So there are certifications. So who's eligible? Local networks are eligible and state networks are eligible. And so it will fall on the responsibility of those 2021 presidents. If you're a 2021 president, give me some spirit fingers or whatever. So the responsibility is going to fall on you, but it's not solely your responsibility because your team has to help you do this. We're all in this together, and that's how you will run a successful network. So, but as the president, you will actually be submitting the paperwork. And when I say paperwork, it's online. It's not actually physically paperwork. If you are have been in the council for like 10 years or so, then you probably remember an old thing we had, which was like papers like stacked up to here and printed and shipped to national. And that is not what we're doing. So just please stand down. That's not what we're doing, I promise. So when we're going to do some training on this. There'll be some training at Elevate. There'll be some training post Elevate, but the application period is actually August 1st through October 1st of 2021. So, and yes, Chris, no faxes. I see that. That is hilarious. No, you're not faxing in this report either. You will be doing it online. So you will apply August 1st through October 1st, and networks will be awarded their certification at the national conference in San Diego. Who's excited about San Diego? I'm excited about San Diego. And so you can get your first certification in San Diego, and that certification will go through the end of 2021 and all of 2022. So let's think about it for a second. If you are the president-elect, I'm president-elect right now. If you are president-elect, but you're a local or state president-elect, you are going to want to make sure to help your president do this. And there's multiple reasons why. First reason is it's training ground. I mean, I feel like I follow Pamela around virtually the best we can. Like I'm joined at her hip, and that's what a president-elect should do. They should be following around the president so that you can learn how to be president before you're in the hot seat. And so you're doing that, but also you're going to be able to, when they submit this, you will be certified. So if I was a local president, my local network's Collin County. So if I was local president of Collin County or president-elect of Collin County, I would be wanting my president to submit this and to get us certified so that I could be a certified president when I'm president. And you know, we all like recognition, and that's all it's recognition. We are doing our job. We're going above and beyond what the minimum standards are. And we're all familiar with minimum standards right now. So it is a team job. And that's why I'm putting it out there. It's not solely on the president. There's a lot of responsibility on the president-elect because you will get to carry the recognition. And then you also don't want to lose the certification because this is something you will have to do every year to maintain your certification. So let's talk about the where and the how real quick. There will be an application form, and it's really like a self-assessment tool to determine whether you are meeting the guidelines and especially exceeding the benchmarks that adhere to the local model or the state model. And then you're going to have certain tasks that you need to complete. I don't want to get into all the nitty-gritty details of it right now, but they're going to be things that you should be doing anyways. You've agreed to be doing them as part of your affiliation agreement, such as, you know, your 4 industry events. Check mark, you check that box and you can move on to the next box. So it is not going to be difficult for you to get this. Yes, you will need to provide some information like that you did file your taxes or something of that nature. And we will do more training on all of the nitty gritty, and that's not what we're going to talk about now. But the why. Let's talk about, most importantly, the why. You're going to get recognized, like I said, at the national conference in November. You're going to get this cute little, if I could talk, electronic badge on your microsite, which you can also put on your Facebook page or whatever. It looks similar to the screen right now that you are a certified network. And acknowledgement on WCR.org. If you are living in a major metropolitan
Sylvia is frozen. Okay, don't you love Zoom? Isn't this part of what we've all dealt with this year? It's either you are on mute or you are frozen. So we're going to give her some time to get unfrozen.
That
And
might take her a little time. Can we come back?
that's what I'm saying, Chris. And we're going to move on because she will come back. Believe me, she will. So, all right. With that being said, now for the subject that everybody just can't wait to hear about, and that is bylaws. Bylaws is such a little word, yet it's so big in its importance to our organization. It is the go-to source for everything of our organization. So here to shed some light on our bylaws task force is Chris. You go, Chris.
Good morning, everybody. You know, Sylvia gets to talk about bragging rights and how to earn them and all the fun stuff. And somehow the spreadsheet rules girl is a formulas girl is always the one that's tapped for how to run a meeting and bylaws and all those exciting things, right? So here we are. Good morning. We're not talking about bylaws right now, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview of some of what we're looking at as a council. We do have a task force in place that's having a look at our bylaws. You may have heard there have been a couple of bylaws changes over the last like 8 years. Seems like every meeting there's a bylaws change except for this past one. So what we're doing as a group is we're looking at our bylaws at the state, local, and national levels and make sure they all align, because we've changed the models at the local and the state, and then we tweak them later on and they don't always all align. So we're making sure to do that, and we're literally going through and redlining. We are taking input from other task forces that are in place right now, such as diversity and inclusion, and the certification task force that Sylvia is running, just to make sure. So we've had our initial meetings, but we're kind of waiting on these other groups to make sure that they don't have recommendations that are going to affect the bylaws and create changes, so we can kind of get this done once and not keep piecemealing this down the road as we've been doing. So it's good news at the end of the day, because again, we're looking to, just like we redid the network models at the state and local levels, we're really trying to streamline how we run as a network and to make sure it's more efficient and we spend less time on administration. So that's the goal of the bylaws task force. The other things we're looking at are inconsistencies. Like I said, one of the main things, and I'll just drop this little microphone for you right here. We're going to look at the renewals timeframe for everybody's dues renewals, because you know we send them out in November and then December, and we say they're due in January, but we have a grace period until the end of March, which basically makes it kind of a 5-month process. And we're asking our local networks to facilitate this. And a lot of that for renewals is done at the national level, and a lot of the recruiting is done at the local level, but obviously recruiting and renewals are both responsibilities of local and state levels as well. So we're looking to tighten that up, because we really don't want to overburden our local leadership with recruiting and renewals for almost half of their term. So hang with us. That is the goal here, is to tighten it up. We want to tighten it up in a way that is beneficial to the networks and not a detriment, so you don't all of a sudden lose members. So we're taking some input on that and some consideration that way. I know I'm a person that's like, hey, it's due this date, cut them off. That's probably not how we'll go. Not everybody is like that. So we'll find a good time frame that will work for all the networks across the country. So hang with us there. That is one thing we're looking at. And then also, I know we had a task force in the past. We had asked them to look at standing rules and policy at the local and state levels. And Claudia, I think you're unmuted. Thank you. At the local and state levels. And we'll probably relook at that and either have this group or ask another group to relook at standing rules and policy, because there is a difference between bylaws and standing rules. And many networks don't necessarily understand the differences and what pieces of governance should reside in which parts. And until we get that done, and the goal is to hopefully roll out a template for standing rules at the end of the day. And this is not going to come in the first or probably even the second quarter, but just so you know that it's something we're looking at, because again, we want to make this easier for our local leadership. And in the meantime, there is, I don't know how many of you guys have listened to any of the podcasts that we started rolling out last year. Few hands, great. So if you look through the podcast list, there is from one of the lightning rounds, and I think it was Network 360 that Heather Osier led. She did a lightning round on standing rules. And there's a lot of great information in there. If you missed it, it's actually been republished as a podcast on our podcast channel on Spotify or however you get your podcast. So have a look at that. That's a great tool in the meantime for us all to have a look, get a little caught up on difference between standing rules and bylaws. So the last thing I would say that will kind of feed into this too is about leadership development. Our leadership identification and development is coming up this spring again. So kind of have that on your radar. That's facilitated at the state level. And that's looking to fill your leadership pipeline at the local and state levels, as well as to help us identify at the national level. And where we're hybrid, or still operating digitally right now in an online format, but hopefully hybrid moving forward later this year. But there's a lot of different opportunities at the national level too for our members to be involved. So when you see that being rolled out, do participate in that process as well. I just wanted to give a quick plug for that. So I think that's it. I saw Sylvia pop back in, but I'll hand it back to Pamela. Make sure she's on board.
Okay, well, all in the name of progress. Thank you so much, Chris. So Sylvia, if you're back on and you want to start up where you left off, go for it.
I'm here, and honestly, I don't know where I left off. Can you hear me? Am I really here?
Yes.
Okay. I think I was talking about the why. The why, I pretty much said everything. We will have a press release. If you have any questions, like I said, there will be training at Elevate coming up in just a few weeks. And one of the lightning rounds will be on the certification. And then also we will have specialized training for local network leaders and then also state network leaders so that you know how to help your locals get their certification. And we are so excited. Raise your hand if you are aiming to get certified this year. I'm going to scroll through the little things. Oh, yay, I got some hands. It's actually going to be great. We're going to reward you for doing your job, and you will be the cream of the crop of our networks, as you already are, but we're actually going to give you a certification for that. So that's it. With that, Pamela, I'm turning it back over to you, unless there were questions, but we can handle that at the end.
Yeah, we'll handle the questions at the end. Thank you so much, Sylvia. I remember in 2006 when I was the local president and those books and how we had to send that off to national, and it would take hours and days. This is going to be efficient, streamlined, and it's going to give you a, so to speak, roadmap to success. So we're looking forward to it, and not to worry because more information will come into play, and we look forward to talking about it more. So thank you so much, Sylvia. Keeping us informed at a national level and you informed at a state level is your national liaison. We shared with you the role, the responsibilities, and now your national liaison, which is Eileen, will go over some details on how she will work with you and your region in 2021. Please welcome your national liaison, Eileen Aldroid.
Oh, thank you, Pamela. Thank you. And as Pamela mentioned, I'm from Orange County, but I'm from Orange County, California, because I know there's Orange County, Florida. I think there's Orange County, New York or New Jersey. So yeah, I'm Orange County, California. I'm smack dab between Los Angeles and San Diego. So I am right in the middle. And so the national liaisons, what do we do? What do we do? We are essentially your conduit between what you do on a local or state level and to national. So there's 3 different levels that I serve and mentor and coach. The first level is if you have a state president and a state liaison. I work directly with the state liaison and the state president, and work on what is going on with the local networks, how national can help you, what training that we need to provide, also compliance and reporting. So it's really helping us understand what you need as a state network and the types of training and communication. Then we have states that only have a state liaison, like New Hampshire. New Hampshire has 1 or 2 local networks and they have a state liaison. So I work directly with the state liaison to find out what's happening in their local area. Are they chartering a new network? Are they de-chartering a new network? How I can help with compliance in those areas. And finally, there are some states like Connecticut that don't have a state network. They don't have a state leaders, I should say. They don't have state leaders. They don't have a state liaison. So I work directly with the state presidents, with the local network presidents on what their issues are. And if there are states that don't have state leaders, they don't have a state liaison, but they want to charter a new network, I help directly with them and Jamie Saltman on making that happen. Bottom line, what I want you to know is that when you see a phone call from me, if I'm already programmed in your phone, or from 714 in California, that you're not frightened when that phone call comes, because I really am here to help. And coaching and mentoring is my jam. I love it immensely. And so I was thrilled with this new position offered from National, that I could continue on my mentoring and coaching journey. I just finished a term as state president in California, so I have a little bit of experience when it comes to coaching and mentoring. So no question is too small or too great. So be sure to keep, in fact, I'm going to give you my phone number. I'll put it in the chat, but I'll tell you right now, it's 714-390-4255. That's my phone number. But just remember, there are protocols when it comes to how you reach out for help. If you are a big state, be sure to reach out to your district vice president first. Your district vice president reaches out to the state liaison or the state president, and the state presidents and state liaisons usually reach out to me. So just remember that if you call me, I may send you back to your district vice president for help, because we all are on a leadership journey. The other things that I'm here to help you with, let's say you have a business planning session. You're thinking about how we can plan for the year as a local network or as a state network. I'm happy to help you with your business planning sessions, with your assessments, with your orientations, and with planning. Happy to do that for you. Also, compliance and reporting. So Sylvia just went over the certification of a local network. There's also we have nitty-gritty reports that we get from our states. And the purpose of the nitty-gritty report is, once again, how are you doing? Where are the places in your state, or where are the places with your network that are having issues? And it gives us this broad overview of, if this is happening in a local network, fine, we'll take care of it. But let's say it's happening region-wide. Like, what do we need to do as national to bring you better training, or bring you better speakers to make sure that we're covering all the issues? Because there was one slide that Pamela showed you that had the 4 pillars of Women's Council. And the 4 pillars are networking, education, referrals, and leadership. Those are the 4 things that Women's Council brings to you and your personal and professional development. And it's also what's going to bring to your new members as well. Because what did Pamela talk about? We have, it's kind of a membership contest, but I don't want to say it's a contest. We have a goal. we have a goal, and that is for each region to bring in 700 members. And remember, we have big states that will bring in more. We have little states that will bring in, that won't be able to bring in, as many as the big states. But essentially, we're all in this together. We're all in this together to bring 700 members from the Eastern region. I know we can do it. And National is putting together a membership training clinic. And it'll be at least a 2-part series, maybe a 3-part series. We're having a brainstorming call this week to talk about how we could break it down for all of you to articulate the brand of Women's Council. We talk about this a lot in Women's Council, that membership is everyone's job. And all of a sudden, when you say the word job, it sounds like it's a really big responsibility. But what we mean by that is that everyone has the ability to articulate the benefits of Women's Council, articulate why education is important and how it's changed you personally and professionally, articulate about referrals. There's a lot of people that have Women's Council as their business plan. How we have networking. Women's Council, if we've learned one thing from 2020, is that this Women's Council became a lifeline for a lot of people. That it was just the one place where they could relax, they could see people that they miss, meet people that from all across the United States, and that became one of our biggest benefits. So how you can articulate that. And finally, how you can articulate leadership. After all, one of our slogans is leaders made here. And that may not make a lot of sense for people that are just joining, but the 3 others might. Education, referrals, and networking, that might attract them to Women's Council. Leadership is something that we do amazingly well. And wherever you are on your leadership journey, let's say that you are thinking about being network president, or let's say you're thinking about joining your local board of directors, just like Pamela talked about how Women's Council helped her open up the world to all the different leadership opportunities that are out there. Because even though we represent about 1% of a $1.4 million, where's my head at? 1.4 million members at NAR. That's how many members are at NAR, 1.4 million. We're about 1% of that, but we represent over 20% of the leadership positions, NAR directors, liaisons, committee members, committee chairs. In fact, I just finished being a committee chair at NAR. So wherever we take you on your leadership journey, we're here to support you. We're here to give you the tools that you need. And we're also here to give you constructive criticism, because that's part of being a leader. So a couple things I want you to know is that don't forget about, we have a Facebook Messenger page where the state leaders, state liaisons, and local network presidents that don't have state leadership, we all kind of gather and we share information. And I want to leave you with a few tips of leadership, just to get you kind of started and enjoying the journey as quickly as possible. First of all, leadership is not a title. It's not a position. It's a journey. We talk about this a lot, that if you think about the best leaders you know, you're probably not thinking about their title. You're probably thinking about their name. You're thinking about how they made you feel, the advice that they gave you, the mentoring and the coaching that they gave you. So that's the way you need to feel about leadership, especially the Women's Council form of leadership, which is like servant leadership. People are taking their time away from their businesses, from their friends, from their family to be a part of Women's Council. So make it a place where they want to work with you rather than they have to work with you. Also, learn to speak the language. What I mean by that is that everybody's different. We always talk about the DISC profile, D-I-S-C. Me personally, I'm an S. The other two national liaisons are Ds. So for me to have them, we all get along together, I got to speak faster. I got to get straighter to the point because they're Ds. But with me, they have to give me the time to process and make a decision. So if you learn the other person's language, then it may be easier to get along with that. With them. Think about the Tower of Babel, that fable where they were all building this tower and all of a sudden they all started speaking different languages and they just walked away from the project. Learn to speak their language so you could finish the project. Take the disc, have all your team take the disc so you can speak the same language. Learn the rules of the road. Rules of the road are learn your job description. The job description is available on WCR.org and I'm happy to share this with you as well. Learn your standing rules, learn your bylaws. It sounds like it's this major project. It's only a half hour. To read your bylaws and standing rules, it's only a half-hour project. That's how long it took me to read the state of California's bylaws and standing rules, highlight what needed to be changed, like Chris was talking about the redlining, like we got to change this, we got to change this. It sounds daunting, but it's really not. But if you learn your job description, you learn your standing rules and bylaws, you learn Robert's Rules of Order, maybe because it's a little earlier in California, you kind of look like a badass and you know what you're doing. And that way you could start your leadership journey a little bit faster. So you're not worried about what am I supposed to do? You already know what you're supposed to do. Celebrate your differences. We all have different leadership styles, a little bit deeper than our personality styles. We have leadership styles. I want you to think about your dream car. Your dream car, my dream car is actually to a London cab. I would love to have a London cab in California, and that's my daily driver for a real estate car. But other people, it's like, maybe it's a Cadillac Escalade, somebody it might be a sports car, somebody it might be a really big truck. That's their dream vehicle. But what do they all have in common? They're all going to get you to the destination. So that's what I mean about celebrating your differences, is that we all have our own leadership style. We all have our dream car, but we're all on this leadership journey together. So you need a box van to get that. You need to get that box van to get that wedding cake safely to the venue, but you need a sports car to get to the venue quickly. So just remember that we all have a different dream car, but we're all on the journey together. Find other leaders. This is probably one of the most important parts of Women's Council, is that replace yourself. Find that person that could really be part of the 4 pillars. Somebody that could really benefit from the education, somebody that could benefit from the referrals, from the leadership journey, from the networking. Get them involved, get them engaged, and help them become the leader that they may not even know that they are. Because how many of you have been tapped on the shoulder and said, you know what, you'd be really good for this. And you're like, I would? Like, I didn't even think about that. That's the beauty of Women's Council. Tap somebody on the shoulder, bring somebody with you, build more leaders for the industry, because we need more diversity. We've only had 6 national NAR presidents, about to have 7, in our over 100-year history. That's not good enough. We need more. 3 Ds in the C. 3 Ds in the C. Now write this down. I'll put this in the chat. Is in order to lead a group of people, that you need to know the 3 Ds in the C. First one, D, direction. Where are we going? If you're a leader, you need to tell people where you're going. What's the vision? Number 2, D, decisions. You don't want to be that leader where they go, I don't know, what do you think? I don't know, what do you think? Make a decision. You can change it later. You can always change it later. Make a decision. Go with the direction, make a decision. 3, delegate, the gift of delegation. Give people the gift of learning something new. What we talk about a lot is transferable skills. I've learned PowerPoint. I learned how to deal with the team, how to motivate a team, how to deal with conflict resolution. I've learned a great deal about Robert's rules. Delegate so everyone can learn these skills, and tap somebody on the shoulder and replace yourself. Finally, C, consensus. There's not 4 Ds. The last D is not dictatorship. It's a C for consensus. Consensus is getting the group on board, majority consensus, and moving on. And if you disagree with what the team has come up with, too bad. You need to go with the direction and the consensus of the team, because guess what? When things screw up, the whole team is involved. But when things go great, the whole team gets to celebrate, because it's not about me, it's about we. Finally, the two things before I hand it back to Pamela is think before you speak. I'm a big girl when it comes to acronyms. I love cheesy acronyms. So this is an acronym for you. Think before you speak. T, is it truthful? Is it truthful? Because remember, you're going to be with your teams at least for this year, maybe well into the future as you build these relationships. Think, is it truthful? Second, is it helpful? Is it really helping with the situation? Or are you just there to like cause a little drama? Like Pamela says, no drama. Is it helpful? Is it inspirational? Are you doing good constructive criticism, or are you trying to break them down? There's a difference. Don't be critical, constructive. Is it necessary? Are you really giving them advice to give them advice? Or are you giving them advice just to start a little chitter chatter? Is it kind? Is it truthful, helpful, inspiration, necessary? Is it kind? Remember that. And finally, enjoy the journey. This is for your own personal and professional development. Have a good time doing it, because Women's Council should fill your soul tank. It should not burn you out. This is a volunteer organization. We're all here on the same journey, is to be better this time next year, that we all have developed into something beautiful, that we've all developed into something 1%, 10%, 100% better than where we are today. So that's all that I want to tell you today. I hope that you know that we're accessible as National Liaisons, and we're here for your success. So Pamela, back to you. Pamela, you're on mute.
Well, you had to say that at least once this meeting. Let's put it that way. What I was saying is, congratulations, Eileen, and thank you for the great advice and information. We look forward to working with you in 2021. Today, we introduced you to our national leadership team. We talked about being a leader. We gave you a challenge to recruit and renew members. We told you about tools and resources. We let you know how to contact us. We promoted our upcoming Elevate Growth Conference, and we shared with you the new and exciting network certification program. All of this is in an effort to build a strong team in 2021. We certainly enjoyed spending time with you. We hope you enjoyed spending time with us. This year is about you and the unique business leadership that you bring to the Women's Council of Realtors. Okay. Again, I'm stuck. We are a diverse group. Hold on. Well, my screen is not moving on. We are a diverse group of leaders that have different and unique skills. At Network 360, we asked our leaders to summarize themselves in one word. The slide that was about to appear, which is giving me a hard time, is a combination of those words taken from Network 360. What is your one word? Before we depart, let us know in the chat what your one word is. Share your one word. And while we're sharing our one words, this is a great opportunity for you to ask any questions or comments that you may have. So the floor is open. Does anyone have any questions? Any comments? I'll give you a few minutes just to come up with some one words.
Love the word. There were some hands raised earlier.
Okay, well, let me see. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll make sure that you're unmuted and we get to you.
I see a question from Kathy Delbridge about updating the old PowerPoint for membership orientation.
I'm not sure what PowerPoint you're talking about. Can you elaborate?
It's a really old one that's out there that was prior to the toward the new website, because we just did a membership orientation or membership training here in Atlanta last week. And I had found a PowerPoint on the site where I had a lot of screenshots that someone had put together to kind of show the members where to navigate to do certain things. And I did not know if, and I found that, oh, this one's kind of old, so I can't use it. So I had actually sent a chat last week and they said they would check into it. So I was just curious if that was out there, because that would be a nice to have, that we could go a template to start off from at the local networks, whereas we're not having to totally reinvent the wheel, and then we can just kind of edit it and make it more specific to our local networks.
Well, Kathy, I know that we have a lot going on. Jeff, do you want to chime in? I know you're on the Zoom, and maybe give us a little input on that, if there's something in the works right now, or do we have something on our website?
Sure. It sounds to me like you've got a very old version of the PowerPoint. We've got one that's been updated in the past few months. It is on WCR.org, but with that being said, send me an email, jhornberger@wcr.org, and I'll send you the latest and greatest of what we have. We've got our pack slides, we've got the history, we've got the benefits, all the infographics that you've seen here. We've got it. We're more than happy to get it out to you. So send me an email and I can send it to you, and I can send you the link as to where it is on WCR.org.
Okay, so is that on the homepage, Jeff, at all, or where would they go to on WCR.org to find that?
It should be under network tools.
Okay.
And it's been updated in the past few months or so, but again, it always needs constant updating because the programs are always changing.
Sounds good. All right, Kathy, we'll get it to you, girl.
Pamela, Jennifer has had her hands raised. Jennifer, I'm not going to mess up your last name. I apologize. Please introduce yourself.
I'm not sure if she means me, Peely, Jennifer.
Sheila, yes.
Okay,
Sorry, thank you.
that's all right. Jennifer's the last name.
Oh,
Very easy.
I apologize.
No problem, no problem.
I still messed up.
It's okay. Where do the podcasts on the website lay that you can go back into or whatever?
Well, we have them on our homepage. There's a link there on
Okay.
wcr.org, as well as you can go to Spotify. Just look up National Women's Council Realtors podcast. And I think, Chris, are there on maybe other podcasts available? Spotify?
Jeff.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's what you do, and you can do this right now because this is
Okay.
how I find the link. Go on wcr.org
I'm
and
there.
type in the word podcasts
Okay.
under search, and then you'll pop up to a screen that says virtual benefits, and from there it'll fan you out to the various links, including Spotify. I like to get them from Spotify. Some people like to get them from other sources, but to me, it's lined up very nicely on Spotify, and they're great. You can listen to them in the car. You just click on the link and enjoy the podcast.
Thank you.
Amy Snook has her hand raised.
Hi there. Thanks, Chris. I've been hiding without video because I'm not in my typical business attire, so forgive me. I don't know if Peggy and Rosanna are on this call from Texas and California. And if they are, it's probably good. I can't see their faces because they would kill me. But we all just went through doing our strategic plans in the past year or so with Jim DeLizio, and it ended up that we had some common areas of focus from deliverables. So the three of us just did a call, and one of the projects that we're working on, ironically, was one of the questions you just had. We were working on creating a local network new member orientation in a box, so to speak, using National's PowerPoint, creating a script, saying ideas if you need it to be a fundraiser, and just having something we could hand over to all of our networks. And then, of course, to share it around the country if you also desire. So just wanted to kind of share that's in the works. And we have our first call next month to start working on it.
That sounds fantastic. Yeah, we'd love to see it. Good job, Amy. Thank you. And to the rest. No, this is only the Eastern region. They're still probably just getting up over there, except for Chris and and Carrie that had to get up early to be on.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's right.
So anyone else?
It looks like in the comments, Diane, and I apologize, Diane had a question about Elevate, and was it for leadership only?
No, it's for everybody. It's 2 full days, action-packed on leadership and business development. So, whatever day you want, you can sign up for both, or you can sign up for one. And the good thing is, since it's virtual, you can pick and choose what topics that you want to listen to. And no matter how busy your schedule is or how busy anyone's schedule is, they have the opportunity to time block their day. So please, yes, it is. And I would say use it as a recruiting tool to show future members of the council what we have to offer.
Thank you. And Anna Ferguson has her hand raised. Anna?
Hi. Good afternoon, ladies. How are you all today?
We are fabulous.
I love fabulous. Okay. This is more of a Jeff question. Hi, Jeff. How you doing? It's Anna again. And
There.
Some members of my team did not get to go to the mandatory meeting for the I was going to say back office, but I knew it's not back office. It's not back agent. It's in the back of, it is the working for WCR.
Yes.
Do you understand? You understand? Where can they go to get the credit so they can do it, Jeff? Please help me.
Sure thing. The training is available on wcr.org. There is a YouTube link, and there's a fact sheet, and there's a badge to download. I will type that into the chat box momentarily.
You are the man of the hour. Thank you, Jeff. I
Sure
promise
thing.
I won't bother you all the time. Okay, bye.
No worries. Contact me anytime.
I don't see any other hands, Pamela.
Okay, fantastic. Well, listen, on behalf of the entire leadership team, I would like to thank you for your time, your talent, your commitment, and dedication to the Women's Council of Realtors. We appreciate the contributions that you add, and it is said, the whole is only as good as the sum of its parts. Lucky for us. Have a great year, and we look forward to seeing everyone at Elevate. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
East, 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 east. We need cheers. East, east.
I agree, Chris. I agree. Make up a little cheer for us.
Right. So when we all get in person, we can east, east, west, west.
Good job, everybody.
Thank you.
I love